All right, time for another Nerdy Virgin podcast. I totally screwed up the releasing system that I was doing. I usually release on Mondays and Thursdays, but I accidentally released one of them last Sunday, and then I think the other one Monday. So now I'm in a quandary because I could record this and release it today, being Thursday, or I could record this and release it next Monday and just go ahead and say, well, I still managed to do 2 this week. I just released them differently. And this is causing quite a quandary in my mind. Maybe we should look at the Libsyn statistics, the stats, the Libsyn stats. Let's take a look at the Libsyn stats. Let's see. I published one Sunday and Monday, July 11th and July 12th. So I did publish 2. If we take a look at the stats, how are they doing? Oh, up to, I can look at the unique stats or the IAB stats. IAB statistics are measured using standards set by the Interactive Advertising Bureau. These standards include additional filtering beyond Libsyn unique stats and usually result in lower download numbers. You can find out more about IAB standards here. Well, let's take a look. Wow, it's a PDF, folks. Podcast Measurement Technical Guidelines, version 2.1, released March 2021. Executive summary. Podcast audiences represent a growing segment of effective marketable media. Podcast ad revenues are expected to reach over $1 billion in 2020, a 14% increase from 2019, according to the IAB Podcast Advertising Revenue Study conducted by PwC US. PwC US. Agent Palmer, PwC US. I understand you're running an illegal podcast in this basement. Well, you could argue that all podcasts are illegal. Sergeant Wilkins, PwC US. Podcasts offer advertisers a hyper-focused audience that chooses to listen to that content. I don't know why, but there's something funny about that. A hyper-focused audience that chooses to listen to that content. I feel like there's judgment there. Podcasts offer advertisers a hyper-focused audience, a.k.a. emotionally disturbed, nothing better to do, that chooses to listen to that content, as opposed to, because you know what I hate marketing. What I hate advertising to audiences who are forced to listen to the content. Nothing worse than when there's a prisoner of war and we're forcing that prisoner of war to listen to a podcast. You don't want to advertise to them. What kind of disposable income do they have? They are prisoners of war. Podcast listeners have been shown to be the most loyal and engaged audience of any digital medium. Yeah, that is true, man. That is true, because when we're seeing the headliners coming through here, the folks who are selling tickets, they're the ones with the podcasts. I think there's This was something Woody Allen said about the difference between radio and television, and I think it applies to podcasts, that there's an intimacy with radio that you don't get with television, because people have to kind of lean in and listen. And with television, it feels much more pushed away. Like, I'm sure, the 12 people listening to my podcast are here because they say to themselves, you know what I'm missing in my life? intimacy with a neurotic Jewish man. That's what I'm missing. Getting to know a neurotic Jewish man. Well, luckily, there is a podcast for that. Officially sanctioned by PwC US. However, measurement of content and ad consumption in podcasting has not been consistent so far, which sometimes limits participation of brand advertisers. This document provides an introduction to tracking ad delivery in a podcast and attempts to provide clarity in the marketplace by describing best practices for measuring downloads, audience size, and ad delivery. Perfect. This document is the answer to the questions that have been plaguing us for ages. Who is listening to my podcast? According to Libsyn, it's 29 people. But when I switch to IAB, it becomes 0 people. Okay. Oh, now they're going to give me a definition. Podcasts are downloaded to a device for later listening or through progressive download listening. In most cases, the podcast file and any ads included with it are downloaded to a device that doesn't or can't send data about the consumption of the podcast and ads. It doesn't or it can't. I feel like it says the same thing. Well, no. I guess there are devices that could if they wanted to. Alexa could if she wanted to, but she doesn't. So deal with it. This lack of data beyond ad delivery limits real-time measurement. In contrast, other media are consumed by reading an article and interacting with the site, playing a game, or streaming a video, all of which can be measured in real time. Even audio stations that offer music or news are streamed and measured in real time in today's media's marketplace. Interesting. Podcast listeners have the ability to download files to consume whatever or whenever they want and are not required to have an active internet connection to play back an episode. The medium in that distribution and the platforms used to collect and listen to are built around the habit of downloading the file. Tracking content in this time-shifted medium involves filtering server logs to produce meaningful data for measurement. Since podcast technical teams analyze server logs differently, results vary across the industry. So that's why it's hard to track, because people download it, but we don't know. All we know is that they're downloading it. All we know is that it is being downloaded. Did they enjoy the podcast? We don't know. We just know that he downloaded it. My voice cracked there. Well, I don't know, sir. I just think they downloaded it. 15 downloads, sir. That's all we know. Please. Please don't hurt me. What's the situation? He's been working as a podcast engineer. My God. For how long? 3 years. This is the first day that he's seen the sun in 3 years. It's blinding my eyes, but it's beautiful. The freedom of it is beautiful. What can you tell us about this illegal podcast? He thinks his opinions are valid, and he thinks he's funny, and he'll do a lot of sketches that he just makes up, and like he thinks he's being clever in the moment, but he doesn't have to go back and listen to it like I do, and it's just there's too many pauses, and he's just recording it on his phone. And you're his engineer. That's right. And what exactly do you do? Nothing. There's nothing I can do. I can't edit it. I can't fix this in post. The challenge for podcast producers and distributors is to offer buyers a set of metrics that is consistently defined and measured equally across the podcast medium. I feel like I know all this already. Yeah, I think just reading through this is probably not advisable for the rest of this podcast. But I thought I would explore it. I thought I would see what I would learn from this. Oh, I'm leaning back. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I gave notice on my apartment. I need to find a place that's a bit more furnished that has, I don't know, hot water. Let's try to get a place with 4 walls this time. Let's try to get a ceiling. And so I almost committed to a place yesterday, but I've decided that I want to live closer to where I work. Ideally, I'd almost want to be able to walk to work. I want to have that option. And so that means I've got to look in Burbank as opposed to Burbank adjacent, which is challenging because Burbank is more expensive. But I am resolved to find something in Burbank so I can, I can just be in town more and just be able to walk. And I'm looking. So I am looking for something that will fit within my budget, which is I have no budget. And I felt bad because I texted the guy this morning and said, I got to find something closer to work. And he texted back, no problem. And I don't believe him. I don't believe that no problem. I feel like it was a problem. Sorry, I'm yawning. Got up early this morning because I waited until the 11th hour to decide whether or not I wanted to take this place. Because it would have been nice to just have the place ready to go now. Because I gave the 30 days notice yesterday, and so I've got a month to figure it out. And I also realized that the only way for me to find a place, and I've been wanting to find a place for a while, is I have to force myself to give 30 days to just force myself to find something. So that's my plan. That is where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. And so I felt bad I hope I didn't let the guy down. We'll see. We will see. And beyond that, I'm just super tired, man. I'm just super tired. That's what's going on right now. Just super tired. I've been working a lot, working quite a bit, feeling run down. And I need to take better care of myself. I was just listening to Gates McFadden's podcast, a.k.a. Dr. Beverly Crusher. She was, and Michael Doran, a.k.a. Worf, was on it. And he was talking about how he was diagnosed with prostate cancer and as a result switched to veganism. And what he heard his doctor say, and what a lot of doctors have said, is that the people who don't get prostate cancer are the people who don't eat meat. So I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm not eating meat. I'm done with meat. I'm going to be a vegan. I am done with meat. And we'll see how long that lasts. We will definitely see. Yawning. Stop yawning. We're going to have to name this Yawncast pretty soon. But I am feeling a sense of relief that I didn't go to this other place. It was a nice place. It's just I want to be closer to where I work. Naturally, I'll find the place and then immediately get fired. Right? Am I right? Am I right? But I would like to figure something out. I really would. When it comes to this sort of thing, that's what I would like to figure out. What am I even talking about right now? Is this even a podcast at this point? It is, because anyone can podcast, and maybe that's a bad thing. Anyway, just for context, in case this is your first time tuning in, and you've actually stuck around through what can only be described as 13 minutes of very tired rambling. I did not lose my virginity until I was 32, and that's the brand. That is the brand. I feel like that communicates everything you need to know about me. Yes, based on that brand, you know that I just watched the preview for the season 3 of Titans, which is looking... it's looking pretty dramatic. I didn't finish season 2 yet. I don't know if I will. Not that I don't like the show. I just am feeling overwhelmed with the amount of content out there, and I can't keep up with it. And I find it tiring. I really, really, really Scooby-Doo find it tiring. Scooby-Doo, I find it tiring. And I mean, it shouldn't be tiring. Like the whole point of all this content is it's supposed to be something fun to consume. And yet it feels more and more like a chore to me. And so there's all these shows that I avoid because I don't want to make the commitment to it. It's just too much. It's too much. It feels like there's a large commitment to The Crown. I almost feel like I need to get knighted just to commit to watching The Crown. If I start watching it, Netflix says, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you have what it takes to stick with this?" Because once you watch this, you will be addicted. You will not be able to stop. You will have sleepless nights. It will consume you. The Crown will consume you. It didn't consume me. I watched the first episode. I got it. It was great. Matt Smith was in it. One of the Doctor Who's was in it. And I didn't, that alone should have been enough to entice me to stick around. But I just did not have the energy. I don't have the energy to do anything right now. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. And I did sleep. I got sleep last night. And I was wide awake this morning at 7, so I got up, and now I'm suddenly exhausted. But that's what 39 is. That is what 39 is. I'm 39, which means I ate pasta last night. I'm paying for it today. That's 39. I'm no longer in my 20s where I can take the hit if I have that much carbs. No, my friend, 39. Entering the time of life where things start to go wrong. Where the body starts to go, well, you are no longer 20. You are 39, my friend. More tired, and yet, for some reason, I feel like I need less sleep. That doesn't make any sense. My ear hair is getting out of control. I still have a fear of flying, and I always thought it'd be nice if I could have a parachute. But thanks to this ear hair, I'm pretty sure I could glide down to the surface of the earth if anything happens midair. I simply use my ear hair I might even be able to save one or two of the other falling passengers. At this rate, if this ear hair keeps growing like it's growing, by the time I hit 40, I'm gonna go full Falkor. I'm pretty sure that's how Falkor from Neverending Story was able to fly. It was that ear hair. Falkor from Neverending Story. We all remember Falkor, the luck dragon. Even though clearly he was a dog, he had the head, he had the face of a dog. I think he panted like a dog. He was a dog. He's a luck dog, not a dragon. But a dragon is a mythical creature. It can be anything. Yeah, it's mythical, but I think we all agree that it is a mythical lizard, not a mythical dog. Falkor the luck dragon. The idea being that I think he was lucky, or he would give you good luck if you would ride upon him. Does that mean there's an unlucky dragon? Schmalkor? Yeah, you don't want to be near me. Like if you have investments and you stand near me, you're going to be in the poorhouse. I'm an unluck dragon. Don't come near me. You'll be divorced. It'll happen. Doesn't matter how happy your relationship is. You come near me, it's over. I'm Schmalkor, the unluck dragon. You mean unlucky? No, unluck. Unluck dragon. Opposite of luck dragon. You don't look like a dragon. I know. These are the cards that fate dealt me. And they came up poodle. It might be useful if you had an unluck dragon. I mean, I would want the unluck dragon, not that I would want to be near it. That's what I would send to the enemies, right? But here's the thing. What is the sphere of luck around these dragons? How close do you have to be to the dragon? Is it like good Wi-Fi? As long as if the dragon's in the house and I'm anywhere in the house, I'll have the luck? Or do I have to be line of sight? Is it a line of sight situation? The dragon's got to be looking at me? Will things only be lucky while I am riding the dragon? And if things are only lucky while I'm riding the dragon, well, what if the dragon is carrying me? I'm not riding the dragon, but still I am making physical contact with the dragon. Is that just all it is, physical contact with the dragon? That the luck starts to work? They don't answer any of these questions. Maybe they do. They didn't in the movies. He was just a bona fide luck dragon in the movies. Did they do a TV show? I think they did a cartoon. But I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they did a cartoon. I think it was like The Neverending Story. Bastion's betting. I don't think we ever see a version of this where Bastion, the main character, Bastion Balthazar Box, is that his name? Something like that. We never see a version of this story where Bastion is an adult. He re-enters Fantasia, and he says, listen, I need something more sophisticated than this. I'm an adult now. Like this never-ending story thing, this isn't working for me anymore. I need more sophisticated drama. Can the Luck Dragon have a drug problem? Let's make that happen. Yeah, he's a luck dragon because he's on opium. That's what's going on right there. So he's in some kind of a fantasy. Can we make the childlike Empress 35? It's getting weird. Atreyu, I think, needs to get... Atreyu needs to be an adult, right? He's a warrior. We can't have a child warrior. It's violating the child labor laws. Yeah, Fantasia's a lot less fun if adults are there. That's why I think only children can go to Fantasia. That's why it's a children's book. An adult version of the never-ending story, I believe, is just any story about a marriage. You wish it was the ending. You wish there was an ending. The never-ending misery. I guess Les Mis would be the adult version of never-ending story. That might work. I'm also trying to walk around, get a little bit more energy, get my blood flowing. I think if I get a little bit more awake, I might actually be ready to record this podcast. Got up at the open mic last night, tried some new stuff, continuing to work on my Nazi pool bit, which I never thought I would have, but I do. And then I had to go up and close out the comedy contest. I ended up doing crowd work, which I had a lot of fun doing, but every time there's always a part of me that's like, yeah, but you didn't do material. You didn't do material. And it's not that I think crowd work is better than material, or that material is better than crowd work. I think it's more to do with wanting to feel like I have enough, that my material is strong enough that I can, work. And but I felt like, the audience, it was the end of the show, and I felt like the audience was tired, and I just wanted to go up there and be silly and do crowd work and play around, and that it seemed like that was the right move. So that's some inside baseball for you. Inside baseball. But, the other fun thing, what's liberating about the crowd work is that I'm coming up with stuff on the fly, and sometimes it does feel a bit more creative than, kind of doing the same bits over and over again. And it's a bit more energized. And I would like to take that energized improvisational feel and be able to have that in the material so that the material doesn't become too rote. But it is a different energy than doing material. I'd like to get to that more. I want that aliveness in the material. It's possible. And what I should be doing is not calling it the material, because that now the material is over there and I'm over here. I learned this from Dave. Smart man, Dave. But enough shop talk. Let's get back to Neverending Story. The Luck Dragon. Is that just a genetic trait that these dragons have? But you know what? I can't get past the fact that it looks like a dog. A dragon is supposed to be lizard-like, not dog-like. So call it a luck dog. A flying luck dog. I'm not sure how it flies. It just seems to hover. With magic. It has hover magic. That's how it flies. Hover magic. I don't even think it has wings. I keep saying it. I'm pretty sure it's a he. Are there female luck dragons? If they're all luck dragons, do they always have good relationships when they're in relationships with other luck dragons? Because actually, it never specifies what kind of luck. The assumption is good luck, but it might just be any luck. These might be existential dragons. That's a whole new spin on it. I think these were dragons that were created by Sartre. I'm a luck dragon because there is no God. That's why I'm a luck dragon. Things happen. Good things happen. Bad things happen. There's no causality. Yes, this is the never-ending story, but it has absolutely no structure. How do you think Aristotle would feel if he was caught up in the never-ending story? There's got to be a climax and a resolution. What's happening? It's just never-ending. Sam Beckett would love the never-ending story. I think that's kind of where he was going with Waiting for Godot. I think if Sam Beckett entered Fantasia, that would be that'd be an adventure right there. Quickly, we have to go save the childlike empress. Nah, I'm fine here. No, we really have to go say there's this nothingness that's entering that's eating up Fantasia, and we have to do something. No, I'm good here. I'm fine. What do you think of my hat? I don't know. That's probably not at all what Sam Beckett was like. Who knows what he was like? Oh, who knows what Sam Beckett was like? I think Andre the Giant knew Sam Beckett, didn't he? I'm pretty sure. Sam Beckett, I think, gave him a ride when he was growing up. I'd love to know what Sam Beckett was like. I just have a feeling. I know I would guess that he had a sense of humor. Kind of a dark one. I feel like Sam Beckett would be like I'd want to sit next to Sam Beckett when somebody was saying something stupid and then see. And I don't think that Sam Beckett would even necessarily say anything, but Sam Beckett is to all playwrights what Jim is to The Office. I feel like in his writing, there's always this just kind of this looking to the audience like, you see that? You see what we're doing? Do you see what we have to deal with? Shakespeare articulates it very, poetically. But with Sam Beckett, it's not even the words; it's between the words. I just feel like him as the author is looking at me, going, "You see this? You see? You see what we're dealing with here? You see this world? Are you seeing this?" That's what he feels like to me. Speaking of the playwriting and all that jazz, I was thinking about this last night because I mentioned this on stage, that I was a theater major, and I was thinking about some of the writings and some of the plays that I was reading when I was studying it in college, and I can't get on board with Chekhov. I've never been able to get on board with Chekhov. And I'm not saying that he's a bad writer. He's a brilliant writer. And I've probably talked about this in podcasts before, but I have a hard time staying with him when I'm reading him. Hard time dealing with the dialogue of these characters who are just so passive-aggressive. And maybe, my thought is maybe it's the Jewish upbringing, because I feel that at least in my family, and if not in Jewish culture, the general tendency is, if there's a problem, we need to talk about it for 9 hours. If there's a problem, we need to have an argument about it Everyone needs to have their say. We need to overthink everything in a frantic conversation. And so I don't know, Chekhov has a lot of subtext. I long to go to Moscow, which I think translates to I love you. And I think, at least in my family, it wouldn't be handled that way. You wouldn't say I long to go to Moscow and mean I love you. You would say in spite of my best efforts, I love you. I don't want to go to Moscow. I want to be with you, but I know that it's not going to work because you're crazy and I'm crazy. And I don't think we, did we pay the bills? Did we put money in the bank account? No. Larry, did we put money in the bank account? Larry, did you put money in the bank account again? I don't want to go to Moscow. Do you want to go to Moscow? I don't actually want to go to Moscow. Should we go to Moscow? Maybe we should go to Moscow. All right, we'll go to Moscow. No, I just don't want to go. I don't want to go to Moscow. I don't want to go to Moscow. We're going to Moscow. That would be more closer, I think, a little bit if we were to take the essence of Chekhov and distill it through my family. That would be a bit closer to where we would be at. I just don't know what it is. I'm feeling very lethargic. Perhaps I need to eat something. Perhaps I need to get my blood sugar up. Perhaps it would have been better to get my blood sugar up and eat something before recording this podcast. Entirely possible. Oh, maybe I'm just tired because I feel like I have this mountain of work I have to get done. And there's just all these things that need to get done, and I just feel overwhelmed. But I think I'm doing a little bit better at cultivating some detachment and not letting it stress me out. What am I saying? I'm not doing better at that at all. Where's that coming from? Where's this optimism coming from? Ridiculous. Knock that off. But yes, in the process of apartment hunting, and nothing looks good on Craigslist. That's what I've learned. Any photo on Craigslist, all these photos of the apartments, it looks like a serial killer taking pictures. I look at a picture of the bedroom and I just hear the voice of the serial killer saying, "This is where she sleeps." It doesn't look inviting. Anything. It just, because the people who take these pictures, I mean, they're landlords. They're not photographers. But you know what? I would prefer that. I don't want an award-winning photographer taking pictures, making it look way more beautiful than it is. We don't need that. I don't need the director of the Burger King commercial who makes the burger looks way more palatable than it actually is. No. I'm glad these pictures are what they are. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Craigslist. The very fact that you're on this site tells you everything you need to know about how your life is going. Oh, man. I'm looking for a studio, which there aren't too many studios in Burbank. Aren't too many studio apartments in Burbank. There are a lot more, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. It was built for people who are successful. Burbank doesn't know what to do with me. We don't I don't know. I mean, I think there's a closet over there. That makes sense for you. I would like to find something that opens out onto a courtyard. The place I almost got, it opens out sort of to it's more like motel style versus hotel style. I'm finding I prefer that more because it feels a bit more open air, whereas the hotel style feels a bit more claustrophobic. Hotel style meaning that I go into the building to get to my place, as opposed to enter my place from the outside. The going into the building, it feels a little bit more. It feels more claustrophobic. It feels a little bit more like I'm. I got to be honest. It feels more like I'm a failure. For some reason, when it's more motel style, and I'm entering the place from the outside, I feel like I'm. Oh, you know what? Maybe my screenplay will sell. It seems more hopeful to me, and I can't explain why. I would like to, and this may blow your mind because, I've not historically been this, but I would like to, can I get a tree or something near where, the older I get, it's not that I want to live in the middle of nature, but I do feel better if there's trees and flowers and a little bit of grass nearby, as opposed to looking out the window and seeing the Death Star. I am finding that the older I get, the more I do appreciate being in nature, which creeps me out because I just feel like that's my body's way of saying we're close. We're close to being mulch. Let's go be one with the universe. But I'm not done yet. There are all these things I haven't done. All these kinds of toast I haven't eaten. I understand you broke your leg. Yeah. What happened? Well, I was more than 25 feet away from my luck dragon. I know I should have known better. I mean, I was just literally leaving the sphere of his influence. I was just checking out a magazine. That's all. And then I slipped, and here I am. No, you always have to remain 25 feet, no more than 25 feet away from a luck dragon at all times, or the luck wears off. Yeah, I think there's a problem with my luck dragon. I was 10 feet away, well within the 25-foot radius, and I got a paper cut, and I think something's wrong with this luck dragon. Have you checked the luck gland? Have you been eating meat, luck dragon? Yes, I have. Well, it negatively affects your luck gland. You're going to have to become a vegan. That's not very lucky. I know. I recognize the irony in that. I totally recognize the irony in that, and I have nothing but condolences. You'll have to become a vegan if you want your luck to improve. And by the way, you're not a dragon, you're a dog. Luck dragon. With the face of Benji? Are you kidding me? I'm a luck dragon. You're a luck dog. I want one of the dragons from Game of Thrones to walk up to Falkor right when he says I'm a luck dragon. And I want that Game of Thrones dragon to say, "Really? Interesting. Where's your can you breathe fire? Do you have scales? Do you have sharp claws? You're a flying dog. You're Snoopy with no legs. That is all you are, sir. Do you think the Luck Dragon works? I think the Luck Dragon works because his name is Falkor, which is an awesome name. If he were an unluck dragon, if it was only bad luck, he wouldn't have gotten a name like that. He'd be named Shlomo or something like that. That does not imply a creature that will constantly go on heroic adventures and be seen as a hero in the days that follow his feats. Now, if there are two luck dragons and I'm making physical contact with both of them, I won't describe what the physical contact is because this is meant to be a family podcast. Does my luck double? Or, dangerously, does the luck cancel each other out? Have we ever figured this out? Has this ever been workshopped? Has this ever been tested? I don't see any other luck dragons. Is he part of a whole race of luck dragons, or is he the luck dragon? If two luck dragons have kids, and you have 4 or 5 luck dragon children, are they all the same, or are they different? Is it all the same amount of luck? Do they all look like dogs? Oh, I'll tell you what wasn't lucky. When the luck dragon had babies, and one of the babies looked like the dragon from Game of Thrones, and looks like she got lucky in some ways. Looks like the husband luck dragon, not so lucky there. Turns out he was eating too much meat. His luck gland got bad. And the wife strayed. Isn't that how it always happens? Isn't how that always happens. If we operate under the assumption that the luck dragon is in fact a dog, are there other breeds of luck dragon dog out there? Because I would imagine that the German Shepherd luck dragon is a lot luckier when it comes to combat situations. I got to see that. The German Shepherd luck dragon. I'm a luck dragon. Oh, so you have like a magical power over luck? No one messes with me. I'm a luck dragon. Do you feel lucky? Not compared to you, no. All right, then stand down. The Terrier luck dragon, not quite as lucky as the German Shepherd luck dragon. The Terrier luck dragon is lucky in that it's been yipping and yapping for as long as the never-ending story has been happening, and it has not been put down. That is how that dog works. Everyone loves the Golden Retriever luck dragon. And then I think there's people in Fantasia who are saying, the Bulldog luck dragon is really an underrated luck dragon. That's not the luck dragon you want to go on the adventure with. I believe it has breathing problems. Falkor, no, it would not have worked if Falkor was a Bulldog luck dragon. It would not have worked. We have to fly all the way to the Oracle. All right, give me a minute. I'm really more one of those luck dragons where you carry in a little pouch. We need to find a rich woman from Beverly Hills to carry me, and then we'll be fine. Yeah, this one's a German Shepherd luck dragon, and no one messes with him. He's been very lucky so far. I'd feel better with a German Shepherd luck dragon on the mission. That was the main plot of the first Neverending Story. Fantasia was being eaten alive by the Nothing. Things were just disappearing. The Nothing was taking over everything. The Nothing was causing everything to disappear. The Nothing. Very existential. The Nothing. And why was the Nothing? Because children. What was it? The children were forgetting. Nobody was. Because nobody was reading the book. I think no one was reading the book. Was that what it was? I think it wasn't the Nothing. It was the Nielsen's. I think it was getting canceled. They were taking it out of circulation. They didn't need a luck dragon. They needed a luck publisher. The childlike empress has asked Atreyu for help. But Atreyu, how do I fight this Nothing? How do I fight this lack of interest in the book? I can help you with that. I'm a luck marketing director. Sandra Johnson, lucky marketing director. I'm here to help. Have you tried writing a press release? We're going to write a press release. We're going to go on a book tour. That luck dragon, really, the camera loves the luck dragon. This is how we destroy the Nothing right here, with a campaign. We need to run Facebook ads. We need to get this luck dragon on all the podcasts. Atreyu, you're going to do Marin's podcast tomorrow. We need to generate some buzz, people. We need to generate some buzz. And thus did Fantasia remain alive, thanks to a book deal and a decision to sell the rights to Marvel. Well, folks, it's been 52 minutes. I don't know of what. We did it. I rallied. Barely.